Hey guys, what's up? I'm Ari Chambers here with Elena Delle Donne, the Clio Sports 2020 Social Impact winner. Elena, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I think like the most important thing is like to just be honest about these times. Like there's days where it's tough and it just feels like things keep getting worse. But I have got great people in my life, and when you're honest with one another and vulnerable in these times, like it's just good to be honest, talk about things, show your feelings, and try to find ways to stay busy. So I've really been getting into some of my favorite hobbies, one being woodworking, and just kind of getting involved in those things has kept me going.
Just when I thought that you couldn't get any greater, I see your art and I'm like, what the heck, Elena? When did you start doing, when did you, I know that we're going a little off, but like, when did you start with your off the court things like that?
So I actually started the whole woodworking business in like 2016. My wife and I were doing some DIY projects, and people on Instagram were like super interested in what we were doing. So we set up the business, and we kind of just like restarted it again this summer when I wasn't able to go to the bubble due to my illness. So it was a really good way to kind of spend my summer and figure out other ways to make money other than playing basketball. So it's been good.
You know, going beyond ball is one thing with artwork, but we've seen you use your platform for greater good. You've always been a mover and shaker in the world, and people respect things that you say. People respect how you carry yourself in life. How have you used your platform to advocate for women in sports in general?
I think the biggest thing I've tried to do is just be myself, and celebrate being unique and being you. And when people are that, it makes our world such a better place. So that's number one. And then just trying to speak with companies and sponsors and trying to demand what they're doing for men's sports, do it with women's sports, to add to the visibility, to create merchandise for fans to be able to purchase, to see us daily, not just in the WNBA season, all through the year. You should be able to buy our things and support us. So I think we've seen a huge increase in viewership because we're on TV. So
Fair.
I mean, it's things we've been saying for so many years, and it's exciting to see these things happen. And it's like, yep, that's supporting what we've been saying for years and years.
2020 has set you guys up to be in that upward trajectory and increased passion throughout all the masses. But where do you think the WNBA will be in the upcoming years? Where can it be? Where should it be? What direction do you see it going?
I mean, it's the greatest sports league, and we have the most incredible fans. And I say this all the time. We have the most dedicated fans because it's not easy to find our gear, to watch our games. Like, you have got to search it out, and you've got to have every league pass and whatnot to be able to watch us play. So I think the more and more people see us and the more visible we are, and you can see these incredible women of our league who are mothers, who are lawyers, who are doing so many things and who are just so inspiring, that people are going to catch on and be behind this league. And it's already started. 2020, as weird and crazy of a year it's been phenomenal for the WNBA because we've gotten TV time, and you can see the support has just grown and grown.
Let me tell you, there have been many days where I have searched and searched and searched for you guys' game. But you know what? We found it. We are dedicated to you guys.
Dedicated.
How do you think brands and other media companies can better support you guys? So we know that it's now increased network exposure, but how can brands and media companies come together and support the women of the W?
Yeah, I think you see what they're doing on the men's side of things, and demanding that for women and women's sports. And it's amazing. There's a story of a young girl, Adi, who went to a store right after the Mystics won the championship, and she asked for my shoes and she asked for a Mystics jersey, and it was rough. An employer was not great with how he responded to her, and she wrote a story. It picked up, and brands are paying attention. So I am excited for our young generation to continue to step up and change this and We as WNBA players have been fighting for so long that we'll continue to step up to demand better from the brands. When you go into a store, you should see both women and men across all sports, and it should be equal. So that is something we'll fight for, and I'm excited that our young generation is ready to step up and do the same.
I love that little girls are running around saying, I want to be like Elena Delle Donne. And little boys too. I've heard of several grown men say, I'm trying to play like Elena. So I think it's transcendent beyond just, the little girls, just the children. It's a game that's growing rapidly, and you truly love to see it. What's the biggest change that you've seen in the past few years, other than just 2020, with the WNBA?
I think the biggest change has been more viewership, number one, like just seeing our games on TV, but also seeing the NBA guys really step up and show their support for us, because they've been supporting us forever. And I think they've seen like, hey, we've got to talk about this publicly and make this known that they are phenomenal women. We study their game and we learn from them, to get rid of all the naysayers who probably maybe suited up in high school and never played since and love to talk trash to women ballers for some reason. So I think that's kind of changed that narrative at least a little bit. But yeah, we just got to continue to do what we do, play the best basketball possible. And our young generation is phenomenal. Each year, I feel like the rookies come in and just stir things up and make our league that much stronger. So continue to put out the best product possible is number one.
You mentioned phenomenal woman, and I think that you are absolutely all encompassing of a phenomenal woman. You've lived such a selfless life. Everything you touch, you seem to make better. So it's just like, it gives me chills, because I'm just like, wow, Elena, I don't know how you really improve every space that you enter. But when you refer to your little sister, or when you refer to your sister, Lizzie, you say she makes you better. Talk to me about your sister and the journey that you've had with her.
Yeah, so my sister was born with special needs. She's deaf, she's blind, and has a lot of other disabilities. So I've been able to grow up with what I feel like is an angel in my family. And because she can't speak and she can't hear, I've been able to have a relationship with her that is so much more than words. It's being in person with her. It's feeling love in other ways than just saying, I love you. It's your actions. And it's something that has just inspired me daily to be better. And then not only that, but her perseverance has been so incredible. So anything that I face in life on the basketball court has never compared to what Lizzie has to go through every single day just to get out of bed and to wake up and to have her beautiful smile with her contagious laugh. Like, if she can do that in a day, I know that I can wake up and be great with whatever that has been thrown my way.
I know this might be ignorant to ask, but what are some ways you communicate your love to Lizzie?
Yeah. Oh no, it's not ignorant at all to ask. It's a super interesting relationship that can be hard to even understand without seeing it. But the way we communicate is through touch, smell, hugs, especially kisses. She gives big kisses, and her giggles are the greatest thing ever. And unfortunately, through these COVID times, it's been awful that I've had to really stay away, and we're just trying to all stay safe. But I get updates daily. I get videos of the big giggles that continues to make me smile and to push on. So it's amazing that my interactions with her, without her ever saying a word to me in my life, she's by far been the person who has taught me the most.
Absolutely. What would you say to anyone out there that has a family member with special needs? Like, what is some advice that you can give to them?
Well, I think first of all, they get it because they've been through it. They understand. And the biggest thing is just supporting that individual and being there for them. And I think it's why it's made me love team sports, because I grew up on a team. And I always say, Lizzie's our superstar. We got to make sure she's ready to go, whatever she needs, make her ready and help her be great for the day. So it can be stressful, especially when I was young. I was always afraid because she just seemed ill, and her trips to the hospital would always scare me, and I'd just be so afraid. But As I've gotten older, I understand that she needs a lot of support in the medical world, especially. And you learn that as best ways you can support her, you do that. But it can be super tough, and you need a huge team to support it.
You have a huge team, and you also have a huge platform, and you partner with Nike with an adaptable shoe. Can you talk to me a little bit about your partnership with Nike regarding that?
Yes. So ever since I was younger, I've been like a shoe guru. I love sneakers. I always wanted like the newest Cheryl Swoops or Michael Jordan shoe. And then my brother and I would always be getting these like really cool shoes, like for Christmas. That would be the one thing we would really want to open up. And then Lizzie was always in these like clunky, big black boots. We call them the Air Lizzes. But I remember just asking my mom, why can't Liz wear cool shoes? Like, she should be wearing what we're wearing. And she explained to me, it is so hard to get a shoe on her foot, number one, and then a shoe that can properly support her. So when I went into this endeavor with Nike, my biggest thing was always a shoe for all. So a shoe for boys, girls, if you have special needs, if you don't, whatever that may be, this shoe should work for every single person. Get rid of, the stereotypes, like this is Elena's shoe, it should be for little girls and that's all. No, it should be available for everyone. So it was a long process of making a shoe that I could wear on court and play in the WNBA finals at the highest level in, that's also going to work for Lizzie's foot and be easy to get on, easy to get off, and support her ankle properly. So it was about a 2.5-year process, but I am so thrilled with how it ended up turning out. And it's my favorite basketball shoe to wear, and it's definitely Lizzie's favorite shoe to wear too. So it worked.
I just love how you're diving into this equality and all across the board. I think it's very admirable. But let's dive into some of your personal life. The Players Tribune article came out, and I don't think that anybody understood what you went through every single day. Just to see the picture of you holding the pills, I was like, God, I struggle with like 2 little pills when I'm feeling sick, but I can't imagine. How has your life changed since you've been diagnosed with Lyme disease?
It's changed greatly. I feel like I am so much more aware of my body, number one, because I have got to be on top of how I'm feeling and try to be ahead of a relapse, God forbid. And that's something that I've experienced many times since being diagnosed in 2008. And just having an appreciation for health. Like before it, I was fine. I rarely ever had to take medicine. It would be like I had a little cold or something. And to wake up every day and just know like I've got to support my body and treat it the best way possible. But also be grateful for a day where I feel good, or grateful for being able to compete on the basketball court, because having an illness like this, it can be stripped away from me at any moment. So I just know the importance of enjoying each day.
I know a lot of people aren't really well versed, even in the medical field, about Lyme disease. Mm-hmm. Can you talk to me about the process of diagnosis, and like, was it a relief when you finally found out, like, oh God, this is what it is? Like, just talk me through how that came about.
We are so behind in research, in doctors being aware of what's going on. So it was a real struggle when I first was sick and just couldn't get answers, and was also getting wrong diagnosis. So that was really hard for me, because I knew, like, I am so sick and this is not in my head. I'm not making this up. So to have doctors who just weren't Lyme literate giving me a diagnosis because that's what they decided to do, instead of just saying, I don't know what's wrong with you, go to another doctor, was super disheartening. So as bad as it is to get diagnosed, it's like, thank goodness, at least I know what it is and I can battle it now, instead of being told I'm making this up in my head. So my hope for Lyme disease is that we get so much more awareness and we acknowledge that this is a real illness, and so many people are struggling. And unfortunately, so many of the treatments aren't covered by insurance. So that's one of the biggest things that my foundation is trying to do, is just continue to push the envelope and to find ways where insurance is going to cover this, because there are sick people out there and kids, and we can't keep going on this way.
What made you, you mentioned your foundation, what made you start the Elena Delle Donne Foundation?
I started it because I want to help people. And fortunately, my wife is a phenomenal businesswoman and was able to help me set everything up. And she's the one who's behind all my fundraisers and does such an amazing job. But money talks. And in this foundation, I knew I needed to raise money for research, for awareness, for the Special Olympics, for all the things that we care so much about. We wanted to be able to not only have a foundation where we get to talk to people about what is going on and what we're trying to do, but also to raise money and get that money into places that's going to make change.
What's the whole mission of the foundation?
I mean, the mission is definitely to support people with special needs and to support the Lyme disease community. And, each year it's kind of different what we get into and where we decide to, give money. But this year, especially with everything I've been facing with Lyme, we've been doing a lot in that community. There's going to be a phenomenal movie coming out that I'm not sure if I'm able to leak that, but there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming. And the biggest thing is to shift the way people think of Lyme and to explain how awful this disease can be.
What do you wish people knew about Lyme disease?
That it's very real, that it's not something that you just get a tick bite and take doxycycline for 30 days and it can be gone. I mean, yes, for some people it happens, but this is a disease that attacks people in so many different ways. And it's a disease that sometimes seems invisible. So for me, I could be on the basketball court and I'm competing, I look healthy. So it's hard for people to understand that I'm sick and I'm battling something. So for people to know that everybody is going through something and to not always judge the book by its cover and to listen.
Mm-hmm. Knowing that you go through that, what are some ways that you take care of yourself outside of the 64 pills a day? What are some ways that Elena Delle Donne says, I'm going to care for me?
Yes. Sleep is huge. That is, I have got to get at least 8 hours. I'm usually up 9 to 10. If I am not getting the correct amount of sleep, I just am not feeling great. So sleep is huge. Get rid of the TV, the phone in bed, like go to bed and really get some good sleep. And meditation has been huge for me. I do it just 10 minutes a day, not that long, but I give myself that 10 minutes a day to focus on my breathing and nothing else, to really just kind of center myself and to realize to be in this moment. And stress can be something that makes Lyme or makes anything go crazy and make you feel pretty awful. So that's been able to kind of help me decompress and do my best to not let stress take over.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of being in the moment, you had a great moment in 2019. You're a champion. And I just want to know, where does that rank in looking back on your career, like your rank of what you're most proud of?
Yeah, that's definitely number one. That's been a goal my entire life, to not only get to the WNBA, but to be at the top and to win that championship with DC and with my teammates who are family and who I absolutely love. Was just such an incredible experience. And even the founding fans that were there and just bawling, like they did it too. They had been through so much. So to share in that moment together was so special and makes me want to do it again.
I mean, the ceiling is not low, right? You have endless potential. So what do you still want to accomplish? I mean, another ship, like what's going on?
Certainly more WNBA championships, hopefully some more gold medals with the Olympic team, and doing more with brands to push the envelope and to get women's sports equal to the men's side of things. So there's a lot of work to be done. I have always said I want to leave this game better than when I came in. And I'm hoping to do that, because for some reason, when you have a basketball and you put it into a hoop and you can do that pretty well, people want to listen to you. So I try to do the most with that platform and just try to make it better for others.
As you're getting these championships and gold medals, how do you define being a champion?
we say it all the time. It's gold standard in everything you do, in your relationships and how you treat people and how you communicate with your teammates and how you show up to the gym every single day. It's all those little things and how much you want to lock into those moments and be great in those moments. So gold standard, that's what we're about in DC.
I know that you don't like to talk about yourself like that, but I'm going to put you on the spot and go off the record. Well, on the record. Your award is representative of a goddess. Mm-hmm. What makes Elena Delle Donne a goddess? And I want you to claim that. I want you to own that and tell us why you're a goddess.
Being a powerful female. I feel like women have been through so much and we continue to fight. We are so multifaceted because we have to be. That's just the way the world has made us and expects us to be, but just being a badass female.
Period. Well, thank you so much. You are a badass female. You're a champion, you're a goddess, and I really appreciate you. The world appreciates you, and congratulations again on your award.
Thank you so much.